Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? Hope you're doing very, very well. Now, those of you with eagle eyes will have spotted that poor Mr. Kentucky Fudge, my young protege here, is kind of obscured. He's at the moment propping up one of these glorious canvas artworks sent by your friend and mine. Of course, you know him, you love him. It's Steve 007 Smith, who bestows the Kilt Mansion with all these wondrous works of movie art. Now, John Carpenter, Assault on Precinct 13, John Carpenter. John Carpenter's in the news today. Now, what could that be? What could it be? What's Big John getting up to these days? Not much, just a bit of conjecture, a bit of stuff he's thrown out there. Now, of course, people who are big fans have leapt on what he said. What did he say that's got everyone so excited and also horrified at the same time? Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing a sequel to the thing. Now, John, come on now. Let's get real here. You're the one guy that should do anything thing related. But you're the last person who actually want to do it because your track record, mate, let's be honest, you're a demigod to me. Always have been. But, you know, vampires, Ghosts of Mars, Village of the Damned. Oh, dearie, dearie me. Yeah, I'd sort of come back with, I like The Ward, I'll be honest, but, you know, I'm not the only person that did. And Cigarette Burns for Masters of Horror. Love that. But you've since done nothing but pimp out all your best product, all your best characters. You're still trying to get an Escape from New York remake, reboot off the ground. You've sold all that anyway. Michael Myers and your long-standing association with Blumhouse. Yeah. A remake of The Fog. Dire. They're doing Christine again, but then again, Christine is actually Stephen King's work, so, you know, you can't take ownership on that one. What else have we got? They remade Assault on Precinct 13, playing it now. And it was an interesting slant on it, but it didn't really work. Wasn't a patch on yours. Big Trouble in Little China. Oh God. Now this actually is happening, of course. Now that, when it first got touted, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, was going to play Jack Burton. No, that was ridiculous. And for a long time everyone thought that. And I'm not sure how that sort of got reinvented and evolved as it went along. But now he's not playing Jack Burton, is he? And the film is actually set, if it ever does come to fruition, which apparently it is, it's set in the 19th century San Francisco, when the original story was actually set for the Kurt Russell, Jack Burton escapade. So that might not be too bad. And I know, I shouldn't be saying that. I kind of feel a bit iffy, dodgy ground there. But the fact is, if they're going to tell a different story, and it's not the same character, then I really don't have any problems with that, because the original story was set in a different time period. But we will wait and see. And I like The Rock, but, you know, you can't take it seriously, that's the thing. And that was the great thing about Big Trouble in Little China. With Kurt at the helm and John steering, you know, it was an anarchic riot of a fantasy movie with everything thrown into the mix. And I love it. And to see some kind of return to that, but in a different story, I don't mind. But let's get on to what the Hollywood Reporter has sort of thrust out there. I'll read it out to you. The Hollywood Reporter, by the way, folks, come on now. The quality of this little snapshot interview, which was I think it says down here somewhere, interview edited for length and clarity. That'll be because of John Carpenter chain smoking all the way through and the poor interviewer coughing his lungs up. Won't take long to read this. The Hollywood Reporter caught up with a celebrated director and composer to mostly chat about his 1996 film Escape from LA. Paramount movie drops on 4K on February 22nd, which was yesterday. But the conversation naturally shifted to his other topics, including the sequel he wants to make, the Halloween franchise being more popular than ever, as evidenced by last year's Halloween Kills, raking in $131.6 million worldwide, and his thoughts on the theatrical experience versus streaming. But the conversation began with Escape from LA, an enjoyable over-the-top Snake Plissken, Kurt Russell, chapter that was mostly panned by critics and bombed at the box office. However, it has since developed a cult following. That's the trend with Carpenter, isn't it? Carpenter argues it is superior to Escape from New York and has thoughts on its initial struggle to find an audience. Escape from LA this is the question. Escape from LA was something of a punching bag for critics when it was released. In your opinion, why did it miss the mark? It's a great flick, and your racing technology now sometimes sounds pretty awesome. This is Big John. Nihilism is best taken at a distance, I guess. That is one of the things I was criticised for, doing away with the technology. I don't know. People are able to enjoy this kind of thing at a distance. Whereas when the movie was released, it was up against Independence Day, which was up and bright and happy. It was fun. Even a lot of people got killed in it. It was fun. In the past, you said you feel it is superior to Escape from New York. Still accurate? Sure, in some ways. Escape from New York had Donald Pleasance as the President of the United States, which to me was great. But Escape from LA has Peter Fonda and Kurt Russell surfing. Doesn't get much better than that. No, John, it doesn't get much worse than that. Single-handedly, you destroyed Snake Plissken as a character for me, and he is my favourite character of all time. Yes, and I've devoted so much time to Snake Plissken on the channel and The Thing. My two favourites of all time. And you're the guy that brought them into the world. You introduced me to them and you changed the course of my life because of them. And now, I'm like, John, stop, just stop now. Question. I interviewed Bruce Campbell last year for a feature to celebrate Escape from LA turning 25. He told me you and Kurt run a relaxed but all business set. He enjoyed it a great deal. Why is that important? Because you get actors to say nice things about you. No, it's just more fun to act that way. Everyone is nervous as it is. There's a lot of pressure, so I add to it. Yeah, I like that. Good answer. Karen Allen told me in a previous interview that she wished there had been a sequel to Starman. Thoughts hearing that? It's very sweet of Karen to say that. I've talked to Jeff Bridges about it too. They did the ABC TV series based on it. End. The Halloween franchise is more popular than ever. How does that make you feel, knowing that you and Deborah Hill created such an iconic character in Michael Myers? Fans just can't get enough of. I feel fabulous about it. It is also fabulous when I look up from my perch on my couch and a check arrives in the mail. I feel extremely happy. And there, folks, in a nutshell, you have the John Carpenter of today. He just wants the money. He'll sell his soul. He'll sell his grandmother's ashes. He'll sell anything for the book now. That is our hero. That's the guy that created all of this fantastic back catalogue of sheer cult amazingness. That's what he is now. A chain-smoking, video game playing, money grabber. I watched Netflix's Texas Chainsaw Massacre this morning, partially for this chat. I know it's not your franchise, but you're a horror living legend, and it gave me two questions. First, is seeing a horror film in the theatre a better experience? Yeah, it's more fun, but it can work in the privacy of your house. Depends on how good the movie is. How was the movie? Watch Kilt-Man's almost 2-hour review of it from just the other day. He'll tell you everything you need to know. I loved it. Great story. Brutal kills. Yeah. Actually, that leads you to my second question. Is there such a thing as too much gore in horror, or is it anything goes? Anything goes. To each their own. Halloween Kills, the second installment in this modern trilogy, was extremely gory, but it worked with the audiences. They loved it. Go figure. Finally, circling back to Escape from LA, is there any other picture from your classics that you wished had a sequel? And here is what everyone's hinging and interested in. This little throwaway line here. I'll read the question again. Finally, circling back to Escape from LA, is there any other picture from your classics that you wished had a sequel? I'd like to do a sequel to The Thing, or a continuation, something like that. But I don't know. See, there are a lot of things in this world I don't know. The end. Edited for length and clarity. Well, that cleared a lot of things up, didn't it? Where in that do you get that John Carpenter is going to do a remake, not a remake, a sequel to the thing? I don't get that at all. Blumhouse certainly do want to do it. We know that. I reported on that, God, about 2-3 years ago. Blumhouse, after getting Halloween off the ground and being a success, they then switched their attention to his other properties and they wanted The Thing. And they were going to remake The Thing under its original title of Frozen Hell from the John W. Campbell original novella before it was entitled Who Goes There? And they were going to tell the same story again, but obviously add a bit more in from the original novella and all that. Oh, God. But Carpenter and Bill Lancaster, who wrote the screenplay for 1982, masterpiece that is The Thing, they already adhered very, very closely to Who Goes There? John W. Campbell's original novella. So there's no need to remake it. We had a prequel to it, which pretty much was the same bloody film, just with crappy CGI. And I don't hate that film, by the way. I don't mind it. I'll turn that off now because that's, I mean, the blurb. Let's just get back to the damn music. In fact, let's get on to, let's do, of course, since we're on about this, where is it now? Here we go. It's The Thing, of course. So Blumhouse already wanted to get this off the ground, and we know they've got so many other franchises and projects and productions on the go, all of which we've already seen before, and so there's nothing original about these. They're just leaping on the coattails of all the classics that we love and revere. So The Thing is definitely in their sights. But John Carpenter directing it? No, absolutely not. It's like Ridley Scott wanting to do Gladiator 2. For fuck's sake. Gladiator 2, the time for that has come and gone. You had a great script by Nick Cave. Yes, Nick Cave. A fabulous, completely OTT, bonkers as all hell script. Because there's no way you can bring Maximus back. But if you're going to go the whole hog, you may as well go completely anarchically insane with it. But Ridley Scott, no, and I don't think he's got the talent that he once had. And I definitely believe that John Carpenter has not got the talent he once had. Not for helming movies, creating music, doing movie scores now. Yeah, totally right on board for all that. You've never lost that. But your mojo for actually directing and telling a good story, I don't think that's in evidence anymore. Could also be proved wrong. But I can imagine they really, really want to get a Thing sequel or a continuation done. There's been games, there's been the prequel, there was the comic book series, which actually was a massive letdown, because if anything, in a comic book, the imagination can run absolutely riot, and the imagery could have been truly spectacular, but they played it completely safe. Nothing you saw in those comic books was anything you hadn't already seen in the movie. So they just copied the same sort of transformations, and suddenly, steroidal MacReady going from, Antarctica to Argentina to wherever on nuclear subs and all sorts of helicopters and like warships. What the fuck was that about? It was stupid. So where would you go with a sequel to The Thing? The Thing is already perfect. Absolute cinematic perfection from a storytelling perspective, from acting, from mood and atmosphere, from narrative and entire concept. It is an encapsulated mystery whodunit, which is wonderful. It's huge in its scale and its threat, but it's condensed and claustrophobic. What are you going to do afterwards? And the greatest ending ever, of course, who's human, who's the Thing? Well, in my opinion, they're both human, but they're both going to die anyway, which is the bleak. You mentioned nihilism there. Well, that is the most nihilistic ending you could ever have. And it's also got that great cloud of ambiguity where people are going, oh, well, I need to know who's the Thing. Oh, tell me, I can't use my imagination. You've got to spoon feed me everything. So don't touch it. Don't do anything with it. It's perfect as it is. I can imagine this will get done, but John, you will not be helming it. They'll take it off you and you'll just sit there and get your big fat paycheck and you'll be happy. And you won't care about the end product, because you don't. Once you've disowned your children, your cinematic children, you just let them loose with other, other chaperones stranger danger. You let them go off with anybody, any other filmmaker, any other writer, and that's it, they're ruined. I tried to find my thing mug. I've got the thing mug, but we've got so many mugs here, as we discovered the other day. Mrs. Kilt-Man went through all the mugs, and there's hundreds of mugs, and lots of movie-related ones. I might even do a video on that. I know, what a strange topic. Just to show you all my mugs. But there's some great ones from yesteryear, and some really vintage stuff, and unusual ones so I might do that, just for a laugh. As I just drink out of my regular but very boring mug. So folks, this story is doing the rounds. I just read the full story to you there. That's it, there's nothing else there. Yeah, John Carpenter would like to do a sequel or a continuation of the thing. For decades, he was not saying that at all. It's funny how now oh yeah, I'd like to do a sequel, a continuation to the thing, yeah. But doesn't say why. Oh, is there more story to tell? Was there always something burning in the back of your mind? We know there was a deleted scene where MacReady has been rescued, but it tested really badly, and they do a blood test on him, and he's human. But that was just the safeguard, because Universal wanted, hang on a minute, this is not a happy ending. Can't you? The audiences and us, the studio suits putting the money up. We want to see that Kurt Russell survives this. So please, can you go back in and put that sequence in? Please, please. Thank you, John. I like that for you. Okay, we'll film it and then we'll cut it out, which was the best movie could have done, because that would have ruined the movie completely. So folks, anyway, there's no meat on this meager bone, I don't think. Carpenter will not be directing a sequel to The Thing. He may want to, but sadly, he's the last person that should be doing it. If anyone's going to do it, And for God's sake, don't give it to David Gordon Green. Oh, fuck no. So folks, there you go. Let me know what you think about this nuggets of news, which really isn't. I mean, if something happens with this, and I do believe that there will be something more of The Thing, whether it's a TV show or goes straight to Netflix or whatever, but I do believe that will happen at some point. So let me know what you think, and we shall reconvene at some other point to no doubt go, hey, The Thing 2, wasn't it awesome? I'd love to eat my words on it, but I don't think that's going to happen. I definitely don't. Do you? No. So there you go. For now, keep it kilted, keep it Celtic. Don't get too cold on the Antarctic, waiting for sequels that are never going to arrive. And I'm going to see you all. Namaste. Laters. Is that a man in there? Something?